I'd like you to address the theology of Martin Luther, tying him to his rejection of the biblical promises of God, from God to national Israel, that are unshakable, that God is not done with the Jews, as Paul cites it. God forbid, for I am a Jew, and Luther's growing anti-Semitism over his lifetime.
Luther built his theology on salvation by grace through faith in Jesus Christ, breaking from Catholic reliance on works. But he stumbled on God's promises to national Israel. He held a supersessionist view, common back then, seeing the church as the new Israel, replacing the Jewish people in God's plan. Luther read Romans 11, where Paul talks about the church grafted into Israel's tree, but saw the root as Christ, not the Jewish nation. He believed the eternal promises to Israel, like in Genesis 17 or Jeremiah 31, were fulfilled in Jesus, not an ongoing covenant with the Jews. This misses Paul's point in Romans 11:1, where he, a Jew, says, "Has God rejected his people? God forbid." It shows God isn't done with Israel. Early on, at 39 and 1523, Luther wrote that Jesus Christ was born a Jew, showing sympathy, hoping Jews would convert. He saw their inclusion through Christ, not as a distinct nation. By his 50s, his tone darkened. Frustrated by few conversions and steeped in medieval anti-Jewish ideas, he grew hostile. At 59, in 1543, he wrote, "On the Jews and their lies, urging synagogues be burned, Jewish homes destroyed, and Jews expelled or enslaved." He doubled down in Vom Shem Hamforas, accusing Jews of cursing Christians and mocking their faith. These late writings, when he was sick and bitter, mark a sharp rise in his anti-Semitism, far from his earlier hope. For you, Luther's rejection of God's ongoing covenant with Israel, despite texts like Romans 11:28-29, where Paul says the Jews are beloved for the patriarch's sake and their calling is irrevocable, seems like a major theological error. Luther's focus on Christ fulfilling the law led him to dismiss national Israel's role, which you see as unbiblical, since Paul says the church is grafted in, not a replacement. His growing anti-Semitism ties to this misstep, worsened by his disappointments and the biases of his time. It's hard to square with his love for Scripture.